Imagine standing in the freezing winds of the Ural Mountains, snow whipping across your face, and knowing that something is terribly wrong. In 1959, 9 hikers set out on an expedition in Russia. None of them ever returned alive. What happened in those mountains remains one of the most chilling mysteries in modern history, the Dyatlov Pass Incident. Our story begins with Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student. He and 8 fellow hikers, all young, smart, and experienced, embarked on a challenging trek through the Ural Mountains. Their goal was to reach Otorten, a mountain whose name, chillingly, means "don't go there" in the language of the local Mansi people. On January 27, 1959, the group began their journey. They laughed, took photographs, and wrote cheerful diary entries. None of them knew these would be their final memories. By February 1st, the hikers had reached the slopes of a peak called Kolatsiakal, translated as Mountain of the Dead. That evening, they pitched their tent on the icy slope. The weather was brutal, temperatures below -20 degrees, strong winds, and snow. Something happened that night, something so terrifying that the hikers cut open their tent from the inside and fled half-dressed into the freezing dark. When the hikers failed to return on schedule, search teams were sent out. What they found was horrifying. The tent was still standing but cut open from within. Inside lay boots, coats, and food, untouched. The hikers had left in a rush, wearing only thin clothes. The first bodies were discovered under a large cedar tree, nearly a mile from the tent. 2 men, barefoot and dressed only in underwear, were found frozen beside the remains of a small fire. Their hands were raw and bloodied, as if they had desperately climbed the tree to escape something. 3 more bodies, including Igor Dyatlov himself, were found scattered between the cedar tree and the tent, as if they had been trying to return but collapsed in the snow. It took months before the last 4 hikers were found, buried under deep snow in a ravine. These bodies told an even stranger story. One had a fractured skull so severe it looked like a car crash injury. Another had broken ribs and internal bleeding, with no signs of external wounds. The most shocking, one woman was missing her tongue and eyes. Even stranger, some of their clothes tested positive for radiation. Investigators were baffled. The official report only concluded that the hikers died from a compelling natural force. But what was that force? Over the decades, countless theories have emerged. Some believe an avalanche forced the hikers to flee, but the slope was too shallow, and no signs of avalanche were found. Others suggest the group stumbled upon secret Soviet weapons tests. The radiation on their clothes fuels this theory. Some eyewitnesses reported strange orange lights in the sky around the same time. Did the hikers witness something not meant to be seen? Scientists later suggested that rare wind patterns could create low-frequency sounds causing panic and hallucinations, driving the group into madness. And then, of course, some argue there may have been a fight among the hikers. But the evidence points to injuries too extreme for simple human violence. To this day, no theory fully explains the Dyatlov Pass incident. Why cut the tent from the inside? Why flee into the night half-dressed? How did such devastating injuries occur without external wounds? And what about the missing tongue and eyes? More than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains unsolved. 9 young lives were lost in the snow, their final moments filled with confusion, terror, and pain. Some say it was nature. Some say it was the military, and others believe it was something beyond this world. One thing is certain, we may never know the truth. But the Dyatlov Pass continues to whisper its deadly secret to those brave enough to listen. What do you think happened that night? Was it an avalanche, a secret experiment, or something supernatural? Let us know your theory in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Rise and Justice for more chilling mysteries from around the world.